towards final hit right there, and Galaxy Racer, they take their gun round. They make it successful up against the bonus. It still was a little bit expensive. They lost a couple of players, but in the end, nothing too much to worry about.
I'd still argue that that was a pretty good round for GXR since the round before that was hella expensive for Big Bam. So they might not have the amount of utility that they would be looking for.
Yeah.
Just checking into it. They actually are for utility, but
They're okay.
Yeah.
I mean, they have a bulldog and a bulldog on Pina, and Dorf has half armor, so it's not an ideal buy by any means.
It's not, but at least they can still have that firepower. The sleeves at the back of the site, Johan to play by his lonesome. Actually, never mind. Georgie is here to help him out.
1 HP.
Down to 1 HP. But they've all but done the damage. That turret really helping out Georgie. And I love how Georgie's not really afraid to fight, even though he is at that singular HP marker. And Eman finds the last blow. Big Bam shut down before they can even get themselves a foot on the site itself.
The utility usage, yet again, coming through. That last shot by Eman was able to bait a couple of shots and allow him to spray. This is one of those stages where Eman needs to show up. We look at him as one of the top players in the region, at least in his country, and they're able, if he's able to play to the fullest of his potential, Galaxy Racer have a very good chance here. On the other side, there are amazing players on the Vietnamese squad. You've got players like Red Neville. You got players like Crazy Guy, NTK, who's always amazing on those entries. This is one of the best matchups we're going to see in this entire group, and it's already bearing its fangs at the moment here. But we're going to go and head towards mid, as a lot of utility will be deployed to stave off that push. 4 players they have committed right now as they get in towards vents. Georgie's blind, they're right beside each other, and that's an awkward exchange, but somehow they come out of it on top in a 2-1. Eman's right there with the follow-up, and he's also right there for the cleanup. 3 kills for Eman now, and he is certainly building up that heat.
Damn, again, all eyes on the secondary fragger, and he does not disappoint. Rather, as we mentioned, awkward interaction there on the top of, well, top mid, where I think the first one whose blind dissipates gets the one up, and it seems like it was Georgie that got the better of that. I think he might have been able just to not take the full force of the, what was it, breach flash, I think? Yeah, from Crazy Guy. Unfortunately for NTK, that same could not be said, because Sky Flashes, I think, is the longest standing flashes with 3 seconds. Breach is about, what, 2? So that extra second was a split second of either getting an advantage for your team or not. Anyways, Georgie now equipping himself with an operator, gets a pick off on A main. A bit of kerfuffle here with Ching and Pina. Let's see who's going to be able to come out here. That smoke is about to dissipate. Oh, it's going to be close. Okay, so Ching's fine.
Yeah, he's fine for now. But he's still playing close to the smoke. The fact that he has controlled B main is a really big deal. However, there is a chance that he could get flanked from the behind right now, and he's going to walk through that smoke. He spots the head of Pina. That's a big kill to see right there. Now he's going to be checked on from the back. They're going to let him get through here. So his B main completely exposed, but Red Neville and NTK, they're doing work. Red Neville just falls to his death there, so that's a little bit awkward here, and that's going to bring things to a 3v2. Sometimes you can't really account for that damage. I know it's not a lot, but it's significant enough to find him a kill, especially when you're low on HP. 3 ultimates available for Galaxy Racer. How many will they deploy in terms of retaking this round? The spike is yet to go down. They're waiting for their opportunity to do it here. There's Rolling Thunder just to help them secure it and allow NTK to creep up a little bit closer. That's the missed shot right there from the...
One enemy remaining.
Oh, Showstopper doesn't connect, but it's going to be NTK and Crazy Guy to get a double. Now, all up to Johan. He has information on both. He's going to try to swing onto one, and he's going to have to land some crazy shots if he wants to get Crazy Guy. As NTK looking to go for the full flank right here. Has to make haste, and he's going to eventually get found as 3 kills for NTK gets the tie.
Great utility usage with the Rolling Thunder. About, actually, all 3 members of GXR there were booped up, and the dazed enough for this 2v3 to be exceedingly to the favor of Big Bam. Now, one of the crucial things in that particular round, Ilu, was the NTK push on B main from B Heaven, because you saw Crazy Guy could not really do the 1 versus 1 against Ching. He had to get dug out by his own teammate, and since they were able to shut down, I believe that was somebody on the Carl on the B side itself, that really opened stuff up and at least put Ching's point that was supposed to be an advantage on B main or B garage into a detrimental for GXR here. So Big Bam really having the proper callouts just to get their teammates as well as the spike in the site itself. It was a bit bloody, but they still got the round in the end.
Important push for Ching. In securing B main, unfortunately, they couldn't secure his flank. So this was, to me, a little bit of a misplay from Galaxy Racer. When Ching is that deep in and he's actually getting kills, there should be somebody at least on site to watch his back. But the only backup that he had was up on Heaven, and that was actually shut down. So Galaxy Racer, that was a little bit of a defensive misplay from them. They're not usually the team that makes a lot of them, but in this round in particular, it was very costly. However, they still have enough to buy, so they're still going to be in relatively decent shape here. They didn't use all that many ultimates. They missed the showstopper, but they still have the lockdown, and they're going to be coming into this with a relatively decent chance. But can they make the right reads?
Well, the reads for now, since they do have the money still to buy, is to still put, well, Johan. Oh, technical timeout. Okay, so Johan is still going to be on the A side. He does have his ultimate, but I don't think he's going to be using this as they push in. It's going to be more used as a retake mechanism. Well, the thing that I'm curious about is how the mid is going to go. Since we don't have a Sage in this matchup at all, there isn't really going to be much in terms of just being able to plug the mid side and giving more control for both mains for either side. So that really puts a kind of question mark as how this is going to work. But you can see, because Big Bam know this, they immediately put about 4 bodies straight into that particular location. And this could be good because they're setting up the Astro Stars there as well. So there's not really a safe point for defenders to try to make something happen. If you're somebody that gets spotted on ropes, well, a gravity well or just a well-timed nade will just flush you out and even maybe cost you your life.
Mid control going to be seized here by Bam. But Galaxy Racer have taken control over B main. So they're happy to give up mid as long as they have a better grasp onto that site. And they're going to allow people into A as well. So a lot of control being given by Galaxy Racer, but a lot being taken in exchange here. The members right now from Big Bam, they'll be creeping up here towards B main. The smoke will come out, and that's going to be the turret to give away the information where he is. But the 1-2 punch, it's going to come in. Carl and Shin get one apiece here, but it's still traded out 2 for 2. They have to deal with a Heaven player. They get onto site. Eman is able to survive a little bit longer. Going to be sprayed through the box. They know where his position is, and with that low HP, he's not getting out here. So still 1-to-1 trades all across the board. But that is the lockdown going to be deployed. Georgie, he gets denied here. But it's still a 1 versus 1. He's going to be having to go away from that lockdown. But what's the play here from Johan? Is he going to wait around here and spawn? Is he going to let him go and plant and go up to Heaven? It looks like it's going to be the latter. As Crazy Guy, he has an idea that it might be coming in here. Only has 12 seconds left. So the plant, he's got to get it. And he's got to get it soon. So he's going to be in a tough spot. The timing, he wins the duel anyway. Crazy Guy with a great shot onto Johan, who should have had that shot.
It's always the great follow-through for Big Bam here that has allowed them to survive for such a long time, to keep this Group C very, very close. You've seen this done against X10 and any other team as well, and this is the reason why Crazy Guy has been that clutch of a player. One of the things that I think was going on his head, Johan was just going to go straight to the Heavens because that gives Johan the best visibility around the site. Crazy Guy had the option to just plant for default, but he really puts the pressure on himself. But it makes sense because since he had 14 seconds, he wanted to squeeze as much time as possible to put Johan in a perspective, and he can just like go straight to default anyways with 5 seconds and still be able to plant the spike for a clutch. In any case, though, that was some beautiful clutch mechanics from him, and this gives a round up plus economy up for Big Bam, putting GXR into such weaker buys.
They have 4 rifles to work with. It's not that bad.
Oh, yeah, you're right, actually.
And they are sitting on a judge, which to Aminhola's success, I mean, it's not entirely the worst idea here, but they're grouping up towards A. They're going to be sitting a little bit of a crossfire. Georgie walks right into it. Johan's only good for a trade. And that's going to be a very, very big problem for Galaxy Racer as the timing just doesn't go. Oh my god. Ching gets denied. And he gets shut down right there with a beautiful execute onto the side here by Bam. They're gonna be ahead by 2 members. This might be a save call already for Galaxy Racer.
They can try to go for that save, but since they have the round loss bonus, maybe they'll try to go for the big fights. They are also wasting a lot of the ultimates of their opponents, so Carl as well as Emon gotta step up big, but Carl has already been tagged down. Had to look at Raptors just in case. But you know what? There's no surprise there. It was all the back of the A site, and that's gonna elevate BAM to 2 rounds. And I do like to emphasize that just because we have been back and forth a little bit here, and 2 rounds might not seem a lot, but when it's this kind of struggle, that compounds on itself.
It's a tough round for Galaxy Racer, and a tough decision that they're faced with right now, whether they should go for a buy or not. They have enough to afford a hero Vandal onto Johan. Georgie's only going to be on a Sheriff and a couple of shotguns up there with a Spectre, so definitely not an ideal buy. But Galaxy Racer have been known to be able to pull this kind of stuff off. They have gotten information, and they have taken down that Killjoy turret towards A, which means that it's relatively clear for now. But the majority of BAM's forces will be regrouping here as they rally themselves towards B. Mid. Oh.
That lurk last round from Galaxy Racer was very punished, as I think it was a little bit mid-round. If they started off early, they could have actually caught some members of BAM here, but BAM, I don't know, their timing and their just repeat to look at the flankers, even though they only have like door for the anti-lurk, it's been spot on. Anyways though, Ching, he's gonna let's get flashed on. Maybe they were counting the smokes here and now, but no, never mind. They don't need the smokes because the gravity well says or shows it all. Gives NTK a bit of, a bit of a catch breath, so he can be able to just go straight into the site itself. That paint shells will keep Emon and the rest alive or pushed back. And Carl is just here. Emon is going out of his mind, but he will only find the one, unfortunately. Flies high into the sky, but gets dragged down by the Sky Police. Johan left to his own. He does have a Vandal, but that's about it. Not really the ultimate or even any utility to help him at least get some information on the site itself.
It's a lot of angles to check, a lot of corners, and I'm pretty sure they've spotted the barrel of his gun by now. He still wins 1 duel. That's all he can do for now, as he manages to make it a little bit expensive. But this is the point, Asterai, when in the half, as the attacking side, you've already gotten your quota. You've already gotten all the rounds that you basically need here, transitioning onto the defensive side. Everything else they get is bonus. And the economy stops to matter this much at this point. It's all about Galaxy Racer. Can they take enough rounds on the board? Both of these teams here, they're not on the biggest and the safest of spots in the groups. So they want clean wins. Both of these guys, they want these teams, they want clean wins, they want high round differentials. Because doing the math, when we're doing them, we've said math a lot here, the difference of these teams is minuscule.
One thing that I did kind of notice, and it might not be obvious for us observers and viewers, right, is the way that Big Bam have been moving around this map. That Boombot is just going to flush out Georgie immediately. And by that, I mean, Big Bam hasn't actually shown themselves to GXR for the past couple of rounds. And this has put GXR in a mode where they're trying to get as much info as possible. But the problem is they're getting caught by Big Bam's timed movement. And if you look at how that has been occurring, it's been done in the past 2 buy rounds for GXR here. It really has this kind of style of play has put GXR in a guessing game where they're always the one who loses the choice.
Well, it's feeling like a little bit of a philosophical dilemma. Not very much Sophie's choice, but definitely whether they can hold on to it or not is... They are suffering a bit of an existential crisis right now, regardless of whether he's dazed and confused. They'll find a eureka moment, finding that kill onto Red Neville, but Crazy Guy's good for 2 here. Georgie, nice shot from up on there. Will only be able to find one, leaving us with Johan and a 1-on-1 here. He does have the lockdown. He's trying to spray through it, so information gathered for Johan. But look at that shot! NTK with a pixel to work with, but a pixel is all he needs. My God, they're hitting every single shot right now. NTK 12-6. And he is showing that the Vietnamese squads, they're nobody to be trifled with. Asarai, you've talked a lot about these guys at the very start of the tournament. how Vietnam is such a sleeper region. And they're proving it right now up against some of the top teams in SEA.
Again, right to reiterate for Big Bam, this is a team that has yet to really lose against any other team in their region. If you're from the Philippines, they're kind of like Bren in that regard. Johan not really having a fun time at all. That last round, NTK knew exactly where he had to plant, that the wall bang from Johan will not matter as much. And Johan, I think he was just a little bit afraid to try to just rush out from rafters and challenge the plant there. And NTK knew exactly what needed to be done. Carl is going to be out in the open, and the flash put him in his full sense of security. And this is just putting GXR into a really bad spot. But Amon digs him out just ever so slightly. He's stepping up to the plate in a couple of these rounds. They're very low on the buys now. Big Bam, they have everything falling into their hands. All they need to do now is just to throw up into the air and see what happens. Amon, though, rips out the showstopper out of nowhere, and Red Neville doesn't return, but he was just a bit too late, and he got punished 3 versus 3 now.
Still very much in the books here for Galaxy Racer. Big Bam, they're creeping up here. Got a good pinch towards that B site. Can they win the duels? They've isolated one.
30 seconds left.
Emon strapped onto the backside. Ching's looking to back him up. A good paranoia. And they land the shots with the Sheriff here. One player coming up from heaven. That's Dorf. He's dropped down. They know he's nearby. He has the weapons here, but in this 1v2, Ching trying to back away around the corner, but Emon's good for 4 with the Sheriff. Picking up a gun here, upgrading for his team.
Last round in
Upgrades
the half.
for everybody as we get closer to what could be a 7-5.
Where have I heard that before?
I don't know.
That sounds so familiar.
It does.
Like
I don't remember. It's like
Left 4 Dead?
maybe
No.
it's this is something that's buried in the back of my subconscious.
Yeah.
Much like those memories with you as we went abroad. All of them in the vault, never to emerge.
But you know what they say, you put your most precious things inside a vault, so
Okay,
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly,
that's how I hide my trauma. Yeah.
Last round. For the first half,
round.
if anybody's sarcastic.
Yeah. There's still another half to be played, but this is looking like a decent half for Galaxy Racers. They definitely wanted more. 75 on the defense. Oh, what a whiff right there from Georgie. I'm sorry, it has to be said. He gets the HP, but those are the shots that you expect Georgie to hit all day and every day.
Well, sometimes it just happens. Still, thankfully, Johan was there for the refrag, so that gives some opportunities here. And what's good about that is that was Dorf down. That sounds something, Dorf down. But by that, I mean they don't have their killjoy anymore, no more anti-alerts, and no more lockdowns. This is going to be huge because they do need something to take the site in. But because there is going to be so much slowing power here, if they show any signs of pressure on any sites, there's still a paranoia and the nades to come out from both Ching and Emon. This is going to be huge, but Ching caught in an island. NTK is trying to ping him down, but Emon is here to help. And he get the shots that he needs, though. Yes, he will. The reposition, but Ching is out there to get the refrag just in case. And Carl is blinding. Even through the days, he will find his mark and only crazy guy to remain. But we've seen how this man can convert the kills. Down to 6 HP or 6 bullets. Swings wide, but Emon still holds true. And that is going to be the 7-5. GXR still getting the clutch.
With 10 HP left, Amon able to make a hero of himself for a moment. And crazy guy, those were the rounds that you think that he was about to pull off, right? It was so close, 10 HP. And regardless, it's still 2 rounds for Big Bam. Galaxy Racer, they definitely would very much like to win this pistol round as the attacking side on split, not the most forgiving of sides. This is one of those maps where you can't really make that many mistakes on the attacking side. You basically have to play fairly perfect and try to hope that the defensive side makes a mistake first or forces a couple of errors. Now they're going to be gathering, however, most of their bodies towards that B, towards mid actually. And it looks like it could be an aggressive play here towards that mid area. They're going to be throwing out a bunch of their utility. Trailblazer, flash on top of it. Not going to be flashing anyone. The boom bot will be deployed the moment they hear a footstep relatively close enough, but they might not know that there is somebody this close. Georgie's already around the corner here, and this might actually bite Bam in the back.
They're still marking the position on male just in case. So Georgie's sneaky spot, unless they actually push it, is going to be all for naught in any case. But him being this close could be something. There's the explosion. Emon throws out his utility already. Red Neville does so in return as well. But the timing from Georgie is going to be good. No one expects him to be high on Heavens. Repositions. There's going to be one left as well in the back of the site. And there comes Dorf. Heaven-wise, not going to be able to get any punish whatsoever. And NTK is left to the 4v1. The thing is, though, remember GXR is heavily tagged. So Georgie makes no time in him to retaliate. And that's going to be GXR with a swift victory in the pistol.
7-6 here, and strong start from Georgie. Emon, he is stepping up. This is what we've wanted from him ever since. There's a lot of hit and miss performances from him, and the thing with Emon is that he's just such an emotionally driven player. I think that, you know, when he's feeling it, he will frag out of his mind. But there are days that you kind of just question what's going on. There were a couple of matches when we'd see him at the very bottom of the scoreboard with like 70 ACS at the very end of it. And other times he'd be up there with like 400 and 500. This is going to be one of those better games here for Emon. And on the other side, Red Neville, he's putting up the numbers for his team. No surprises there, as he is one of the Vietnamese prodigies. Absolutely amazing player here. But as of the moment, it is two of these raises going head to head at the very top for their team.
Pina just exit out. He just does not want to touch that. Too many bodies all throughout there. He's going to pop a couple of shots using the grenade as a form of cover, but that's not really going to be enough. The close encounter just melted and dealt with by Georgie. He's going to whiff on the third shot, but it's going to be fine. All good in the hood as NTK, the last two remain. He is all the way at A site, maybe just looking for the lurk or maybe the fake out by GXR. But all is held true as the B side is theirs once more.
Actually, it wasn't Georgie who got those kills. It was Carl.
Really?
It really looked like Georgie got those kills, but it was actually Carl with the Spectre right behind him. It was Carl who was behind him who actually got those.
It's like when you play with your big brother and he gives you the controller and you're like, big bro, I'm doing it. And he's the one that's playing it for you.
You haven't had very good experiences with siblings, have you?
I have no siblings. I am an only child.
You're an only child. That explains a lot.
Yeah, I know. Exactly. I had to make up my own siblings in my head. You know, it's like, oh, Asteroid. Oh,
so you mean that? So you mean that sister that you were telling me about the other day wasn't real?
No. Oh, maybe. It's not blood related. You know.
I will stop the line of questioning right here before we get into dangerous territory. 7-7, okay? And we're going to be taking steps to get to the next round. 8-7 is what we're looking for Galaxy Racer, as they are going for their bonus round. And Big Bam, they've got the big weapons. They've got all rifles here. Can they actually line up the shots? Can they actually get the good reads in for their team here? And they're going to be playing passive Galaxy Racer side. Look at this 3-man crossfire just to see if Big Bam's going to push them.
A bit of mid control then and there for Big Bam, but GXR will be looking to enter the A site. What's kind of curious about this is that they did live Dorf. That does sound like a super good name. Dorf on the A side to hold off, but he's put every utility that he has to stop people from coming in A main. Not really much so much on the ramps, maybe just the alarm bot, but this is really a lineup that he can make some damage happen. The nade will push him out. It's going to be the utilities, but this is the double duelist charging right in, but Dorf, my God! If not only for Carl, who sprayed through the follow-up on that smoke, that would have been disastrous, as they've lost about their control on the site itself. Chink's going to be holding an angle here, this fault line keeping him honest, and they have to back away. Carl's going to be planted spike down, but he is the one holding the Phantom. This is going to be huge as both of them come out. Carl, the trades abound. NTK has to reload, but Carl just cannot find the kills, and he's being pushed back here. Elu 3 versus 1.
No way he does
and he's down to 7 bullets. This is going to be so difficult. They lined up. Oh, wait. Back. Carl sidesteps to the right and still will not claim victory. That was so big from Dorf.
I thought that they would have all lined up. There was 3 people all cascading right in front of him. And just when you think he was going to land those shots here, the moment he gets one and gets into cover, you think for a moment he's got it. But
look at that.
Slips away from his grasp at the very last second. take a little bit of a look here. This is the play. Almost had it here. Almost had it, but it was great teamwork and great place. Still, fantastic bonus round for Galaxy Racer.
That was so close, but you know what? When you can spray transfer like that, you're good. You're just unequivocally good. Crazy Guy's gonna get spotted here now in B main. As Red Neville was holding the close angle. And lo and behold, Elu, we cast some games with the judge, but we don't cast games where Aftershock gets victims. The dash from Georgie expended. Chang is gonna be wide swinging. He needs to go big, which he does. Dwarf whipping. This is huge.
And he's going to push the envelope here. He's going to keep trying to make some progress towards A. And in his attempt to secure the site for his team, Crazy Guy goes ahead and punishes him and upgrades the weapon as well. And that's going to signal that there's nobody else here. It was a fake, guys. We got bamboozled. Everybody stay right where you are. That's exactly what they do. As mid-control now being attempted by the members of Galaxy Racer. They do have to deal with Pina, who is sitting up at this close angle. Will not win that duel. Johan ready for it, and they're going to make their way into that B site. They do have to deal with Red Neville, who's going to want to play close, who's going to want to get in their faces with this judge here. But can they actually do it? I expect to play any second now, but no, Carl, too good on the flank there. They leave him towards mid just in case, and it pays off for them as he gets the kill that equalizes the scoreline here. Bam and Galaxy Racer. We have got a tie game on our hands, ladies and gents.
What a round. That looked to have been more close for Galaxy Racer than it should have, but Ching steps up. You were mentioning this a while ago, Elu, that, you know, aside from Emma, and Ching is the one that really has been performing for GXR, maybe not in that past game that they had with X10, but he does have his moments in the spotlight, and when he does, he puts GXR on a pedestal. And my, oh my, is GXR basking in the glory. You said it already, it's still 8-8. It's not the end of the world for Big Bam, but at least for GXR fans out there, it's looking much and much better. For Big Bam here, though, their defense sort of being broken down little by little. And they have to figure out something. They put 3 people on B Heavens for about 3 rounds now, and it hasn't really done much. But maybe with this pistol and a different push from GXR, could be something else.
This pistol's in the hands of Bam here. Not really even upgraded ones. They've only got a couple of upgraded ones. But look at the swing right there. Perfect timing on the multi-peek towards mid. The refrag and the flash. Fault line. Oh, he's dead to rights. Carl, there's no way he's surviving this one. Red Neville, beautiful double kill. It's all up to Johan. Has the weaponry. Spams through the blast. He finds Red Neville. Just able to line up that shot there, and he's managed to bring it back somehow. Dorf, he can pick up guns. He can actually go ahead and pick up guns and give his team a chance here, because Dorf has got the sniff. He's got the magic nose right there, and he senses something is awry. No one's here in mid. I'm going to claim these guns and hopefully make the right read as to what side to go to, but it's going to be the wrong side for now, as Johan will claim his spot onto that A side. He's trying to plant open. Take a look at the replay while he goes ahead and plants that spike right there. But again, he can plant open and play Heaven for now, and he even has the lockdown if push comes to shove.
He doesn't know where Dorf is going to be coming from, and that's what the thing I wanted to point out here is Dorf doesn't even know where he is going to be situated in. By him, I mean Johan. So he has to make so much noise, and Johan, it's all up to him to just catch him in a timely manner, which he does. And Elu, oh boy, that was almost a thrifty round for Big Bam.
That was very well played by Big Bam. I love that push towards mid. It was an example of what you can do with a lesser buy and great teamwork. The power of friendship. That's right. And the power of friendship, they almost won an eco round.
Yes.
But in the words of Ariana Grande,
Ariana Grande?
In the words of Ariana Grande, almost
right.
is never enough.
I was about to quote my favorite anime of all time, Yu-Gi-Oh! I'm gonna believe in my friends! Draw this card!
Yeah, but unfortunately, no trap cards left here for Bam. As the mirror force is applied here towards mid. Now,
Yeah, there you go.
I was a
Sorry.
Yu-Gi-Oh nerd. Don't call me out. Okay. They are going into mid again, and this mid area has been the point of contention for Big Bam. This is something a little bit of a recurring trend because Bam, before they make any moves anywhere, they want to make sure that they have control over that mid, and they do this time and time again here. Galaxy Racer, they know this, so they play around with that. They give it sometimes. They fight for it sometimes here. And Galaxy Racer this time, they're happy to give up. They're happy to take more of this mid control right now. But Bam's NTK, he's going to land a shot onto Johan right there. That's the Sentinel gone. That's the lockdown gone. And the Lurk completely punished. Red Neville in a good spot right here. He's backed up by Crazy Guy. That's going to be a flash to slow down the pace of this attack. Red Neville's trapped in this corner. And look at that. Dive straight into his waiting arms. That's going to be the kill onto Carl. This should be the round here for Bam.
What a control on B Heaven. A bit of communication. Again, this Raze just holding his own. Red Neville is just holding his own for the moment. Wait, hold that thought. Eman is making a bit of stir on the Heaven side. Never mind. And back to what I just mentioning there, Elu. Loving the teamwork from Red Neville as well as Crazy Guy. If you have a quick replay on that, you just saw how quick they were to push members of GXR into positions where they actually want them to go at.
Yeah.
And that peak from NTK, that pick from NTK onto Johan was so big because, again, they just did not know that the op was going to be coming. And that forced the rest of the members who are only stuck at mid now to make plays at mid because the time wasn't really on their hands.
9-9.
I've got your trail.
Scoreline. NTK with a good shot right there. But this isn't Brooklyn. It is the house of NTK as he gets a double. He's able to shoot away the Seekers for now, and Shing is going to get a refrag for the meantime, but it's the members and the bodies falling all across the floor. NTK with 3. All right, that's a clutch shot right there. Shing, he's good for a refrag, but look at the HP. They have a cumulative total of 11. Yes, I did the math. 11 points of health on both of these guys here. That's not pretty. That's difficult. So what they're going to do is try to hope and go for an aggressive play here. Get themselves in a sneaky position that might make their lives a little bit easier.
The problem, I think, now is Carl cannot heal up Ching. He still has his regrowth, but they've been separated so quickly now. NTK is just going to be charging right in. They know that the flank could be coming. Carl has to be faster because Ching is left by his lone, so the barrel has been expended already. There's going to be the quick enough defuse, and it's being defused at the back of the site. They flashed in, but pros don't fake. And once again, around by Big Bam.
Whoa.
All done by NTK. That was close, but as you mentioned, a cumulative HP of 11. Not enough to really brute force their way for that spike to get stopped on the defuse.
I cannot believe the patience on NTK to wait for that lurk. I think he knew that the enemy player, Carl, had very low HP, and that would force him to make a push. But he even smokes off the angle as he falls off of it. So, wow. The game sense on NTK on that one, just for that retake. Amazing stuff.
Oh my god, Neville was just jumping up in front of Georgie. If Georgie had aim-lab's motion right there, that would have been so bad, but it's fine. GXR now show a lot of forces on mid, as well as getting control on ropes, just in case, but they don't have the weaponry that much to really explode onto the side. Even if Eman has his showstopper, this is such a difficult ultimate to use when space be cramped, and they can't really have that much wiggle room on mid, and having no opponents, this will just open up a bit of space, but they need something to be a bit more explosive. So they're putting Georgie in a very precarious position. But if he can hit the shot on Crazy Guy, this is going to be big. But what a shot. What a denial. Oof.
It's 10-9, and the rounds very scary at the moment. Great. Again, the teamwork. Look at that. The usage of the fault line on the breach has been perfect. Every single round. And there is no question why these guys chose split. The coordination that they have is just so next level.
And Ching, he's just holding an angle, but there's too many to deal with. And we're looking hella striked here for GXR. They have found themselves a wall, and I don't know if it's gonna be a story of Humpy Dumpy and they're gonna go for the fall, or are they gonna go on the other direction and try to climb over that? I'm not sure, but GXR for the moment know that they have to change something of that regard. They're gonna call the tactical timeout, and as you mentioned, Elu, Big Bam, with how they've been using their teamwork, their power, friendship, however you want to call it, jokes aside, it has really put a strain on GXR. Just the ability to refrag and use your utility to help your comrades, such a big thing right now for Big Bam when all is again on the line.
This is tough for Galaxy Racer, man. They don't really have an idea on how to control the coordination and the counterplays of Big Bam. When they go for that mid play to segregate them, to isolate them, it doesn't really work because Big Bam are happy to give up map control. And on the other side, there's every time they go for a hit, there's just so much utility that they have to use, that they can use to deplete the forces of Galaxy Racer here. Just the crazy guy being the bane of their existence here. And I really think this is a crazy guy game. If there's going to be an MVP on this one, 100% crazy guy. Because you've seen it. The flashes, the fault lines, and even the rolling thunders. Every single one has been perfectly placed here, setting up BAM for so many wins. And just an example of that would be that eco round push towards mid where they found 4.
And again, it's the power of Breach. He does something that other initiators or other flashers can't really do, which is to explosively clear corners as well as open up possibilities for your team. Whether, again, in some videos or something, or in message boards, he's been called as trash tier in rank or in just casual play. When you can use him to the level that Crazy Guy has used him on, it puts him in such a good light. And look at how Crazy Guy has been converting, using the aftershocks not only for just flushing out corners, but as some sort of cover, some sort of suppression mechanism and a flush out tool that has, well, we've seen it in the past couple of rounds, been able to suppress GXR for so much. And now GXR, they're playing such a slow, methodical process now because they don't really know what's going to happen here. They need to be able to clear out these angles, not by singulars, but at least with duo stacks. And that's why you're seeing 2 Cent on the ropes here. They're looking to go for a standard A play, but there is so much that is going to stop them. And first and foremost, that's going to be NTK. Backs off, though, and here comes the explosion.
Georgie's hasn't even seen anyone, and he's at 6 HP here, so a lot of damage done. That's a good showstopper from Red Neville. No punishes. Finally they do, but with 14 seconds left on the clock, they're going to have to recover the spike, and it's in the middle of a little bit of a tough spot. But fortunately, the last player standing on Pina's side, on Bam's side, excuse me, is going to be Pina, and he's going to be very far removed from the equation. Why are you chuckling?
No, nothing. I was chuckling because that was a good take.
I just realized, but I will not acknowledge that. I refuse to acknowledge this.
Acknowledge that GXR had a good push. Like as you mentioned, Georgie was like around 6 HP, and it seems like they were losing because there was really good plays from Red Neville. He found Ching in transition, but the ability of GXR just to take this site, even though they're bloodied up, still has allowed them. And again, this slow style of play looked to be a bit risky because it does have a telltale sign if it's going to be coming, but they were able to at least separate the site well enough that their prolific fraggers did what they do best.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm still laughing. We are gonna get reprimanded by production so many times. I'm sorry, production.
Man, okay,
love you.
Focus, Astro. All right, 11 to 10. This is crucial for Galaxy Racer. They have found a smidgen, a modicum of success here in these rounds, but they haven't been able to string rounds together. They've only been able to find one, and that's that one round that they found. It's after a flurry, excuse me, of losses. Time after time when they've just been completely read by Bam here. Georgie looking for an entry, but Red Neville just denies him. The flash comes out, but the backup is good here, and Pina swings wide. He actually gets Carl there, and they just dismantle Galaxy Racer yet again. Bam are playing perfect defense at the moment, and Galaxy Racer have no answer.
This is so difficult for Galaxy Racer. First and foremost, there was a bit of a jack-in-the-box style there. If we can get a quick replay, if ever, they played on the default box as soon as they were being thrown flashes their direction. And it's smart because you don't really have to go that far to not get punished by flashes coming out from B main, as is shown by the two members of Big Bang. All you really have to do is play behind the box, because you saw Georgie wasn't comfortable or confident enough to push through aggressive. Speaking of comfortable enough, NTK has just been hitting these shots. The dry peaks from GX are punished time and time again. And, well, they don't have... Oh, I was about to say, they don't have that Sage to revive. And one-way smoke. That was actually Ching smoke, but they played around it perfectly.
Yeah, well timed. And nice find. That rhymed. On the head right there of Eman and Georgie. Now they are brought down. No more duelists here. It's going to be a problem. How are you going to break through the site with neither of your duelists here? They have to find something. And with only a Spectre and 2 rifles, it's going to be very much difficult here. Big Bam. They are very much in position to win this on their map. And Rolling Thunder?
They're probably thinking that that was like a 3 members of GXR already.
Just preemptive to stop any kind of push from happening. But this is actually going to be a fake. They're going to go towards A here. Can they clear out Killjoy? Going to be dancing around these ropes just to try to get some glimpse of anybody playing here. Close. NTK not going to be flashed off. He's going to miss the shot here. Brought to 26 HP. And he knows to look at Johan right there. Great shot from him, but Johan finds the double anyway. Dorf, he's gonna get 1. He's gonna get 2. He's gonna get 3, and Dorf gets 4. That's a hold from the Sentinel, from Bam, dismantling Galaxy Racer, taking the victory in a very, very crucial stage, in a very crucial part in the group stage to get a leg up on Galaxy Racer.
It seemed like Johan was supposed to be the redeemer for GXR there. But as you mentioned, Dorf was just holding at the flower pot, and he did not show his presence up until the very end. And sometimes it do be like that. An unfortunate turn of events. Johan was actually surviving. He was a lucky bastard, my guy, because he was just dodging shots, getting a kill onto Crazy Guy, not getting full blown by the op of NTK. And just a tad bit more. That could have been 1 more round for GXR, another chance. But it was just not meant to be. And Big Bam, what a big performance coming in from them. Crazy Guy as well as NTK, the dynamic duo, the heroes, the Midoriya as well as Bakugo of Big Bam. Yeah, I'll put it up.
Yeah, weeb. 13 to 10. As I casually throw that comment aside. NTK, 20 kills. Eman performing out of his mind with 22, but unfortunately it wasn't enough. They didn't really get the right movement, and it just seemed like Big Bam had a better idea on how to play split than Galaxy Racer. So Big Bam, well-deserved win here as they show what a masterful and a clinical performance they can bring onto a map like Split here. And you were absolutely right. This is a map that Galaxy Racer are familiar with. But Big Bam showing their chops, why they are one of the top teams to look at in the region.
Yeah, it was such a big blow to them, I think, that, again, when NTK started picking up the operator, not usually the best weapon to use on Split because it's heavily punishable, but when you kind of dry peek like that and don't really use the setup by Carl's flashes to give an easier entry point for your duelists such as Eman and Georgie, you just really don't have that option now, do you? Anyways, guys, we're going to go for a quick breather. When we come back, game number 2. This is the decider. We were mentioning it's 2-0 for anybody or it's bust, because if we go 1-1, it's all about that mathematics. And we're going to give you more of that math when we come back from the break.
with duos, that kind of thing. Yeah.
I like it.
We could talk about working together. Oh, like collaborations and that.
The ups and downs. Shared hustles.
Yeah, I'm feeling that. Whoa.
You know, the power of partnerships. What do you think? Hello?
Synergy.
Good word.
So it's a conversation.
It's a podcast.
This morning I woke up in the fortress of distortion. I'm at war with my emotions.
Courage starts with a risk. Break free from expectations. Defy boundaries and anything in your way. Dare to defy. Calvin Klein Defy, the new men's fragrance.
Battle Split ends with a big BAM victory. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Valorant Challengers SEA Playoffs Group Stage final day. And this is the final match of Group C. We have seen Big BAM take that 1-0 lead. But with me again is the dynamic duo themselves, Azurai and Illustrado. Guys, come on, walk me through that map because it really felt like Big BAM, Galaxy Racer, they were matching each other, but there were just moments Big BAM would pull on ahead.
I think it happened in the second half where Big BAM just clicked. That's, I think, the best term to describe it. They just felt what they needed to do.
What did you just say? I hate you so much. Oh, I'm gonna let that slide. But if you know, you know. Okay. I'm sorry. It's been a wild ride
and
here.
Illustrado, everybody just when one sets something up, the other laughs at it, and it just goes all downhill from there. But let's get back on track, guys, because we still got one more match to go, and Split did go to the wayside of, well, it went for Big BAM, 13-10. That's the victory for them. But we are going to go into Icebox instead, and GXR are going to be picking that one up. But before I ask you for some thoughts on Icebox, I do want to say this about Big BAM. This time, I do believe they're able to keep a record from the local scene. They've been perfect on Split before, and they're still perfect now. But here on Icebox, it does seem like that there were struggles back then in the Vietnam local circuit, and they only recently found some success there, Illustrado.
Yeah, absolutely right. Icebox, okay, this is Galaxy Racer map. And I honestly think that this is a little bit underutilized by the Galaxy Racer roster. This is one of the maps where they have so many comprehensive attacks that they have planned out. They have so many strats on it. And one of, honestly, the best, I'd say, theory crafts around this map in the SEA scene. And it's just so difficult for anybody to, I think, work their way or wrap their brains around it sometimes. But at the end of it, a lot of the time they lose on the defensive side, even though they are a good team defensively here. So hopefully they've cleaned up a lot of these things. But if anything, I think this is a Galaxy Racer map through and through.
How about you, Azurai? I want to hear your thoughts. You're also on the panel, you know? Instead of just making some jokes there, give me some big brain Azurai moments, because I know you have a lot of them up there.
Yeah.
Up there.
For me, I do think that, again, Icebox is a map that has been a toss-up for GXR. It looks great because of how we saw back in the Dreamfire days where Georgie would just pop off. But now that teams are much more coordinated, it might not be the same spell. Still, I will have to, double down on my predictions here for GXR. I know that they lost game 1, but I think they can come back on this game 2. But it's going to be difficult if Crazy Guy still has that IGL prowess that he showed to us in that previous map.
And this Crazy Guy has been exemplary. Really, on that Sova, onto whatever he plays for this roster. And we saw something a little bit different a while ago there on Split. I believe he was on that Breach this time. He has just been incredible. And going back to his old CS days, he was already one of those anti-fraggers, I remember correctly. He was on the offensive side multiple times. And at the same time, I do believe that Mr. Biminal, of course, who loves the leaderboards, has mentioned a Crazy Guy all the way at the tippy top of the APAC leaderboard. So really, he's a guy to watch out for. And overall, Big Bam moving into Icebox, right? This is a map that they needed redemption in their local scene. And perfectly, they found that redemption against the rivals who took them out twice, I believe, or the rivals who just getting in the way of them way back when, Division X Gaming. They beat that team in the grand finals. They beat them on Icebox 13-5, whipping out the composition that they found comfort in. And they were able to build on that. We keep talking about how Big Bam has a relatively clean record in the local scene. But Icebox, this is the smudge there. They've had struggles. They are in the negative in total, but some recent success helping them out. GXR, in the meantime, they have that foundation in the past. They have some foundation in the present. But as Illustrado mentioned, right, there are times where I feel like, okay, some of the things that they used to do, it's been scouted, it's been read, and it's been done too many times already there by GXR. What a map pool, though. What a map pool. And overall, what are you guys thinking right now? Because who are the X factors here? We know, and we've talked about Crazy Guy already, but on the side of Galaxy Racer, there has to right. Who needs to find a little bit more of that footing? Because between these two teams, Big Bam and Galaxy Racer, it's just fisticuffs. And it does feel like it's just who can outpower the other.
I'm not sure about if they need to step up or rather just have much better timing, because it's been Johan and Ching that has been at the receiving end of a series of unfortunate timings. And we saw that multiple times on the Split map where they will try to get some map control, push in from A main as the defenders, and then as soon as they're just going to try to swing, there's like 3 people of Big Bang them already because they took a very long time in trying to go and get that particular amount of information as well as that map control. So Icebox might not need to be that particular set compared to Split because they can always just play retake and whatnot. It's much easier there, and they can always just set up anti-post plants or something. But definitely has to be, I think, Johan and Ching. Definitely more so than Johan because he has been put in the clutcher role for the most part since he's, you know, the controller or the sentinel. And if he's put in that position again, he needs to have better ability to read the layout of the LAN, or else he's going to be in a world of hurt more so than not coming into Icebox.
Absolutely. And pretty much, guys, it's time for us to put those theories to the test as we are going to be getting into the map. Second map here of this battle in Group C, the final one of Group C. And it's time to find out if Big Bam will move on to the playoffs or will GXR tie it up. And we're going to be needing our calculators. Asarai, Illustrado, floor is all yours, boys. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, that floor is mine. I'm gonna just like, you know, lay on it and dance on it and I don't know, sleep on it.
Well, I mean, what else would people do with floors? Mop the floor?
Yeah. Skid the floor?
There's a bunch of things.
Hey, if the floor is clean enough, you can almost eat off of it. You know,
I mean,
as
you could,
is said by any.
You could eat off of any surface if it were clean enough.
That is true.
You could eat off a toilet seat's pretty clean. It's
yeah,
true,
you know,
it's
there's
true.
a restaurant in Japan that actually has a toilet-themed restaurant, and you can just like eat off of, you know, urinals and stuff. The more you know.
Okay, well, thank you. I never needed to know that in my life, but now I do. I could have went my whole life without knowing that fact. All right. What a couple of shots here to start things off here. Bam. Feeling hot. They're hitting the shots. And so will Red Neville. Not a single duel victory for Galaxy Racer. The only saving grace they have is Carl with 2, but he's melting away. And he gets spotted around that corner right there. That little gap proves to be fatal for him as Yet again, they find the first round up against Galaxy Racer.
Unfortunate there for Carl. Not only is the gap deadly to him, it was also the goo that was kind of cooking him, mutating his HP from a 11 to 0. Really unfortunate. That double swing, beautifully executed by Bam. Well aware of the flank that was coming. They actually did not take that much map control. They just strike hard on the A site. And immediately, as soon as I think that was Red Neville planting the spike down, everybody was running ready to either go for the post plant or look for the lurkers. And that really caught GXR off guard.
If you take a look at the current mathematics, this is where we stand. X10 is plus 8, Galaxy Racer is plus 3, Bam is -0, and Boom is -11. So it's still pretty close. It's still very, very close. And wait, hold on. Carl, what are you doing, man? What are you doing? How many kills are you going to find again on a Nico? This ain't right. And he's going to try to find more. Okay, Georgie. He's going to try to get closer, but it's still at the end of the day going to get melted down. And okay, there's balance in the universe again. For a second, you thought Carl was going to do it yet again, and he almost did. He's a couple of charges away from his ulti. And it's round 3.
He's looking fine. 4 kills, even on just the pistols. He's dealing a lot of damage, dealt damage himself as well, but this all adds up, as you mentioned. 2 more charges before he does get that Hunter's Fury, but is it really going to matter as much? We'll have to see, though, if it is, because he's the same as Jesse Bash, at least, in the Philippine scene. He can't hit those shots. On the other hand, here for Big Bam, they're going to be on the bonus rounds, but they've equipped Red Neville and the Bulldog as well. And I do believe we're playing on patch 3.02. So, well, even on 3.0, I don't think they changed anything with the ADS spam with the Bulldog as well as the Stinger. So that still is a very powerful weapon if you do know how to use it. So I'm kind of curious how they're going to try to utilize that going into this bonus.
I am going to paint a picture for you. Asrai, imagine a world where X10 don't qualify. Imagine a
I don't want
world
to live in that world.
That world is very much possible. If Bam can take this map against Galaxy Racer, this means that Bam gets 3 points. And that's going to put Bam actually at the top of the groups, ahead of Boom. And it's going to knock them down. Bam's going to be at the top, followed by Boom. X10's going to be 3rd. That means they don't qualify. It's very possible here.
Emon has to hold aggressive here. We talked about the math, but it's all about the science of taking the sites. And Emon speaks hard and says, Professor, I can claim 3, which he does. He's looking for a 4th, but Georgie doesn't want to fall behind. Finds another pickoff, but that was a beautiful hold for Emon. And he at least keeps the site alive, the dream alive for the moment. They do need that 1-for-1, Elo, because a straight 2-0 is a death sentence, as you mentioned with GXR. I wasn't listening to the mathematics. I'm very bad at listening. I have a short attention span. But what did strike me hard is that they still need to win this Icebox map.
Okay, I'll explain it again since you weren't listening.
All right, bro.
I'll say it slower this time. If Galaxy Racer goes 0 and 2, X10 don't win. They don't qualify.
Yeah.
That's basically it.
Yeah.
X10 could not. There's a chance X10 don't go through if Big Bam win this map.
That's a really big thing, I would say, for X10 and X10 fans. Because I can already hear people, why does not bring out Patafan? Again, guys, if you're wondering, Patafan is on a... Yeah, exactly. Is on a physical mend. So he needs to heal his wrist. You know what? He's a wrist aimer. He's one of those godly wrist aimers. And coming from Overwatch, he's been a cracked... What was it? I think Dax mentioned McCree, but I do remember Farah, if I'm not mistaken. But I could be wrong, though. But anyways, coming from that game into here, he transitioned that, and he's still been a scary shot. But again, that has put X10 in a slump where they had to use Sushi Boys while we are on this technical timeout. I just wanted to also mention that they still have been doing quite well, but not well enough that they're out of the dangerous swampy waters that is the Group C.
okay, if Galaxy Racer need to win this, but there also is more math involved here. If Galaxy Racer win the map with 13 to 5. Thank you, Tofu. 13 to 5 or better, then it's 1 Galaxy Racer, 2x10. And if they finish with 13 to 6 up to 13 to 11, it's 1x10, 2 Galaxy Racer. So really the bar isn't very high here. The bar isn't very high for Galaxy Racer. They just need to win this map with a 13 11 or better. That's all they need. 13-11. That's the bare minimum they need to win to qualify here. So the bar is actually pretty low for Galaxy Racer to hurdle over.
We say low, but the problem is it's a pole vault, I would say. With how Big Bam has been performing, it's a scary thought to even try to go around that marker. But you have to agree, Big Bam still has something to kind of prove here. As you mentioned, I think that was like, what, 13-5? So it's going to be quite a big escape. But I think they can handle it. I think Dax brushed up on, this particular team being spearheaded by Crazy Guy, who was an entry fragger back in his CS days. I believe his team was called Skyred. And fun fact, Elu, this was the team from Vietnam. I think the only team from Vietnam that was able to qualify in a DreamHack EU tournament, where lo and behold, they went up against legendary teams that included both Scream and Kenny S. And I mean, yeah, you probably might not be able to win against those teams, but for you to actually qualify to get up to that point is still a achievement in and of itself.
Qualification is a big deal. I mean, getting here alone is already a big honor. There's a lot of teams that would just be happy to be here. And Galaxy Racer, one of those teams that won't be happy with just a group stage performance. They want to go through the playoffs. And the playoffs, it's another story in itself. There's the upper bracket, there's the lower bracket. A lot less math. A lot less math. I'm looking forward to that, SRA. What?
Yeah, a lot less math. Yeah. Exactly. We're built for computer games. Computers don't need math.
Yeah, just binary.
It's all ones and zeros.
Exactly, just like our RQ. 1, 0, respectively.
What?
We have...
all right, I got you.
I'm the 1, you're the 0.
Aw.
Yeah.
Wait. Aw. What?
30 seconds left.
All right.
People might think of us differently. But anyways, what we think differently is after a technical timeout, a swift strike on the A side. Emma once again will be anchoring for the moment. That wall will hold him a little bit back of it. And he's got to be careful because Dwarf once again right on top. Chase going to swing wide, gets a kill. Doesn't deny the spike being planted down.
Shock darts.
But the trades will be plenty. Let's go.
That's a couple of shock dart kills from both teams right there. Eman has gotten himself in a pretty decent position. The lineups now coming for Pina. Can he get? He's another one. He's another lineup, and that's another lineup too. So they're throwing out everything. Oh, he's sick.
Oh, the debuff. Oh, that's so unfortunate.
He's got to run.
He had HP, but the debuff on the snake bite.
And this is the problem when you have a Viper and a Sova on the attacking side, and they're like the last two alive. You can have Crazy Guy and Pina so far away and just throwing out stuff from outside of A main. And they're going to be able to secure a round without even having seen you. Neither of them saw anyone, and they find a kill. And, also doing math here. If you actually tally the damage, if a 75 damage shock dart actually lands on you with the vulnerability of the
snake bite
yeah, of Viper, it's actually a kill because that's 150 damage.
It doubles it, which is insane in the membrane if you think about it. That is so unfortunate. Emon he just wanted to have the tag already, and he knows, like, instinctively. Hold that thought though. Johan is gonna be just spraying wild, not able to find any targets, but he's put NTK low, so that's gonna peg the heal from Red Neville. Still, The push to B will be already spotted, as well as known by the rest of the GXR squad. And they can't really stop anything. It's all going to be about the post plants, and they still do have some weaponry to go up against this. That snakebite will be far too late for anything. And Dorf is just going for the trades. Although these blades from Georgie might say something, but he was already actually traded himself.
We do have a 4v4, and here we go. Retake for Galaxy Racer. He spots him out. Knows where he is, but... Ooh, NTK with a crispy shot. He finds two. Or he finally goes down. Carl only with a Spectre. Not gonna happen for him this time. As Big Bam don't need to ignite the Big Boom to even win the round, as they find themselves ahead by 3 rounds up against Galaxy Racer and Galaxy Racer's map pick. So this is a very frightening prospect, not just for Galaxy Racer, but for X10 as well. If, you know, again, and of course we'll give credit to the person who actually did the math. Opal did the math for us, and basically what happens is if Galaxy Racer, they win, they take X10 with them. But if BAM win, they take Boom with them to the playoffs. So this is really frightening right now. This is another eco. We should be seeing a 5-1 Aserai. And at this point, if BAM keeps building up these rounds on this attacking side, Galaxy Racer might not have enough to play with in their defensive side here.
Yon's reloading. He's sidestepping. He still gets another kill. If he gets a third, he's insane. Well, still pretty respectable kills. And how did he survive the second charge out from Red Neville? I will never know. But this gives a bit of a fight for GXR. You're mentioning all about the mathematics once more. And it's scary to say, because the thing about this is it's not only the hashtag road to Berlin, it's also the points to qualify for Valorant Champions. Again, for Southeast Asia, we're a bit luckier where we have a little bit more points. But if you're not able to qualify, you don't get those big chunkas to, you know, qualify for Valorant Champions.
I mean, you want to be, at the very least, having enough circuit points for LCQ. LCQ is a big deal. I mean, Berlin and Iceland, obviously, that's massive. Because if I remember correctly, X10 have the most in SEA with 275 circuit points, as per my last reading. And obviously, if they get more here, that's going to secure their spot in LCQ if they even need it. And everybody else is sort of clambering for those points here. Because you want to be in the LCQ. You want to get those points. Especially a lot of the teams that underperformed here.
Yeah. Again, LCQ basically just means last chance qualifiers, and it's another chance at a fresh start, in a sense. You really want to not be in that position, but at least if you are, you still have to have a good standing in this particular C Challengers playoffs. Going back into the game slightly here, Elo, I just wanted to point out as well that GXR, in the post plans that they've done, it's been a little bit awkward because somebody always tries to defuse the spike. And it's either hashtag pros don't fake or they just try to half it. But in some form of weird transition in that, Big Bam always punishes a kill, or while somebody is distracted with the spike getting defused, every single member of GXR is being traded hard. So GXR now, they're left with a conundrum where they have to at least find kills. Before that happens, Emon's going to be there for the trade. Red Neville does not have his revive. Ching, playing in the close corner, wants to get a kill first, then he can wall, then he can revive, if ever. Georgie got to step up big with the operator, finds a mark, and this finally dwindles the numbers of Big Bam slightly an advantage. But this will leave Ching in an island first. But he gets caught! The zip line, and Red Neville with the trade. What is happening?
Ching gets completely caught unaware there. And the massive double kill turns the round on its head. I don't know why Ching must have been looking at the mini-map or on hyper-focus on the sides to not notice that there was a Sage right above him ziplining, but NTK here.
Georgie was left on and off, but he doesn't really need a rifle to get the damage. 30 HP, swings wide, spots another! The quick scope, Johan Oh my god, bros, don't fake. Georgie, does he have time? Was it actually even halved? Yes, it is. That recon dart is gonna be huge, but it gets covered, but still the charge out from Crazy Guy, valiantly pushing through the smoke, through the cloud burst, sacrificing his life for the round. A good sacrifice, a good trade, an equivalent exchange. And 6-1, Big Bam. They're keeping the lead. Big Elu. Oh no. Oh no, 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 no.
Whoa. I was just left rocked by that. Oh my god, what a play. Just the game sense right there from Crazy Guy on that post plant. Knowing that he must have stuck it because it was halved after all. But it must have been heartbreaking from Galaxy Racer because they were this close to defusing it. It was a fraction of a second away, but the shock dart claims his life. And Galaxy Racer, they have to take a pause here. They're taking too many losses in a row. And it's starting to show that they're getting a little bit flustered. They're getting a little bit frustrated. Who could blame them?
The call from Big Bam as well for that last round, not looking at it from a macro perspective, but just that specific round itself, they were already down 2 players. So the fast call was to go straight for the A site. And whether it's because they just wanted to minimize the timing for GXR to get their composure, GXR was coming off of a high of that, or being able to catch players who were still trying to figure out if they have to play in the site itself or play back of the site, worked so well in their favor because they were ready for the quick enough trades. That was so unfortunate because Ching, his positioning was supposedly good, but because he had nobody to really help his position out, I think whoever was on Raptors was actually just not holding an angle to get a refrag for Ching. It put him in a really tight spot that he had to try to get himself out of. The big problem was there was 3 opponents and he could find nobody in time for the big trade or at least the kill. And that put Big Bam in such a good position to just get the A side itself. Anyways, now going into this round, a triple stack on B main. This could be huge because they haven't really spotted Georgie just yet. He only has the classic, drops right out and gets delivered a Vandal. This could be huge, but Red Neville gets in for the quick trade. A revive onto NTK. And once more, the chances for taking this site or taking this round has dwindled for GXR. Emon does spot out 1 kill onto Red Neville. That stops the spike from being planted immediately. But there is a huge helping of time for Big Bam to just use that Killjoy ultimate, push everybody from the site itself, and just have a good time at planting spike down once more.
Yeah, they'll be able to plant it for free here. I think Carl might be detained, but I don't know if they'll actually go ahead and check him. He's got Emon to cover his flank for now here, just to make sure he doesn't get pushed. But it's still a lot of time that they have to make up for, as NTK not even going to be needed for that one because it's going to be Crazy Guy. Close off that kill, but Carl's still alive here. He's got 5 HP. If he can... He just falls into the nanostorm. That's rather unfortunate, and sometimes there's nothing we can really do about that. But in the end, it's Big Bam who has a 7-1, and they're feeling very confident. They're feeling very comfortable, and they're winning all the rounds. They're getting all the right reads up against Galaxy Racer, who are very much stumped as to how to deal with this attack from Big Bam.
Right here.
You've heard of the floor is lava, or the floor is nano in that particular sense, and as you mentioned, they are stumped. What's the next plan here? They're multi-stacking a lot more, I think, from GXR. Let me just pull on the trigger by, I believe that was Johan that has used his Viper's Pit on B main. This hasn't really stopped much. Look at the ferocity that Dorf just plays this. He's immediately lurking on mid, and he's betting on the fact that nobody has any mid control.
Yeah.
And the positioning from GXR is going to get heavily punished just on this transition. Oh, no. Oh, this leaves Johan by himself. He has his ultimate to at least help him out a little bit, but this is like 5 members about to crash into his position if he's not careful. Ching, though, let's get the revive onto Georgia, which is good, but Johan...
the timing.
Oh, but nobody pushes him. The timing.
They both passed each other. That's going to be huge here. But still, the frags. It's going into Galaxy Racer's way. Johan will finally find Crazy Guy. And it's going to be a 4v2 here. They have the Viper's Pit to work with. He's not going to get a chance to use it as they decide the better of it. Red Neville, good shot right there to land. He's going to get caught reloading. As Emon satchel charges into his face and into a 7-2 score. We do have 3 more rounds in this half. And if Galaxy Racer can secure the next 3, then by by the gods above, they have a chance.
These kind of rounds are deceptive for anybody because you think that these are really good rounds, but even though it was a round win for GXR, that was off of a Viper's Pit. Usually, I think the percentage chance of you winning, whether it's defending or attacking, gets higher because you do have that particular ultimate. And they got saved a little bit. That was, again, this team not really wanting to just push through the Viper ultimate, but Georgie, he does the SMG boost. That's lovely. Using the wall as a sort of standing point, and he uses the other wall too to kind of give us his little peek out position, and his operator has such a good coverage on the spawn of the attackers that whoever peeks him will just die if they're not really aware or conscious about that particular angle.
Still, like I said, 3 rounds. All they need in this half to make it a decent halftime score. Georgie, what a way to start it off. He's going to tailwind out of there. And going to be safe for now as they claim yet another scalp and further push their advantage towards better scoreline here at the end of it. It's still the A site that's going to be the target for Big Bam. The recon now comes up and gives a tiny bit of information. Not going to really pulse onto anybody here, though. But Ching, that's a big shot to be missed. And that's an even bigger paint shell to miss as well. It's going to allow them for a free plant right now. Showstopper to make up for it. He doesn't get it out. But Carl with the Hunter's Fury has managed to find Red Neville here. Nice shot right there from Crazy Guy, but it's traded out by Ching. The double swing. And it's all up to Pina. He's got 1. Now he's got to find 2 more. Is this Pina's moment? Time in the sun. It's now his time to shine. Can Pina find 3? Can he shut down the hopes and dreams of Galaxy Racer once more? As he's caught, he's found looking the wrong way here, but they're throwing each other snake fight. But which Cobra stands? It's Pina to find the clutch in a 1v3 up against Galaxy Racer.
What? Straight up, that play from Pina was divine. Nobody from GXR was looking his location. Granted, 3 versus 1. Carl spots him, and Ching whiffs the shots. That is so unfortunate. And his ability just to play around his opponent. The guesses of Johan that he was coming in from the back of the site were not met. Sure, he missed a couple of the shots, but you saw immediately how Pina just recuperates on that one. And the 1v3, it looks so smooth, and that really hurts the case because Bam, they're looking good here, Elu. 8-2.
I just have to say, I think it's Galaxy Racer looking tilted. Good 2 picks here from Georgie, but they're missing basic utility throws and basic shots that they should hit any day. And this is a sign that the team is not... I think it's gotten in their heads. They need to call a pause. They need to think. They need to reset because Bam, that 1v3 should have never happened. They could have just triple peaked and stayed together, but instead they were isolated and they lost another round that they should have won at the end of it. Spike will be planted here and it will be denied. Nice play right there from Ching to deny the plant and as well as the Viper's Pit. 3v2, the HP still low as they recover, but Crazy Guy's bringing it back to 2v2, and it's Emin and Ching. Ching only has a Sheriff in his hand, but he's found 1 so far, and they're gonna need to find 2 more. Crazy Guy working around this corner here is hoping to get lucky. There's 2 players to the backside. They're playing close to each other. Timing for Crazy Guy, it's good. He spots 1. Crazy Guy doubles up. Crazy Guy with 3 is insane this game as he finds a 9-2 up against Galaxy.